How big does your pot need to be to get to £3,000 a month retirement? Well, that's about £100 a day, and of course it sounds like a decent retirement. But to make that work, this example from age 60, you're going to need a pension pot of over £500,000. The good news is there's a clear plan to get there. We'll look at in this video what the numbers really mean, what the gap years cost, and how state pension changes everything. Now, whilst we're going to be focusing on age 60, the reality is the principles will apply whatever age you're looking to retire. So the problem from age 60 is the 7 years that you've got between 60 and 67. And that is when your pension pot has to carry everything alone. And that stretch alone can cost you roughly £180,000 before any help even arrives. Now, the average pension pot actually in the UK is about £138,000 at retirement. But £3,000 a month from 60 needs about £520,000. That's nearly 4 times the average, and more people are way off that. And don't forget, of course, the HMRC takes a slice of every withdrawal too. And that annual figure puts you well above the tax-free threshold from day one. And most people aren't even close to where they need to be. You see, the gap between where most people are and where they need to be is the real story of this video, and it's wider than you may think. You see, £138,000 wouldn't buy a flat in most of southern England, and you're trying to fund 30 years worth of retirement on it. Now, do stay to the end, where I'll share 3 specific moves that can bring that £500,000 target down by over £100,000. So my name's Zach Hussain, with over 25 years experience of helping people plan for their retirement. So this video is for anyone with a DC pension pot, not a final salary scheme, and they're thinking about retiring around 60 with their mortgage paid off. So even if you aren't 60, I think the general principles of what I'm going to talk about are still going to apply. Now, let's start with what £3,000 a month really looks like once the bills are paid. Now, of course, this will differ for everyone, but as an example, council tax for a single person is about £143, energy about £137 a month, water £53, and a basic food shop usually comes in around £275 a month. That's just a touch over £600 a month before you've even done anything enjoyable. So out of your £3,000, that leaves roughly £2,400, which is roughly £78 a day for your clothes, your transport, basically anything that might go wrong. Now, the retirement benchmark from Pensions UK, well, they say you need about £31,700 a year for a moderate retirement as a single person. But from what I've seen over the years, most people with their mortgage paid off live far comfortably on a lot less than that. So your £36,000 a year, which is your £3,000 a month, puts you above even their moderate standard. Now, this for me is a genuinely comfortable lifestyle in retirement, not a bare bones existence. There's a difference I think most people also overlook. £3,000 a month is what you want to spend. However, the amount that you actually take out of your pension is going to be much higher because HMRC takes a cut of every withdrawal. Now, those bills that I talked about earlier on, well, they add up to about £7,300 a year, and they will continue to rise whether your pension does or not. So the real question isn't just how big does my pot need to be. I think it's how much do I need to pull out my pot to keep £3,000 actually landing in my bank account. The answer to that depends on how you take the money and what's happening with the state pension. The answer changes completely once the gap years are over, and the gap years are the distance between when you retire and when your state pension kicks in. The gap years are going to be the most expensive stretch of your entire retirement. So if you retire at 60 and the state pension doesn't start until 67, well, that's 7 years where every penny has to come from your pension pot. Now, within this, we're going to assume that your pot grows by about 2.5% a year above inflation. So all the numbers are in today's money. So on a pot of about £520,000, the gap years drains it to roughly £340,000 by the time you're 67. And you can see here, just look at that drop. Your pot falls from 520 to about £340,000 in just 7 years. And that shaded area is £180,000 of your retirement gone before the state pension even appears. And notice the line at 67. that's where everything changes. See, that's over a third of your pot wiped out before you've even reached state pension age. Now, I've watched people through their retirement hit this wall. They don't expect the pot to fall that fast. And don't forget, on top of the spending, there's the tax, which we talked about earlier on. Now, there's a way to take your pension in chunks where 25% of each chunk is tax-free, and it's called UFPLS or UF Plus. So if you withdraw £36,000, about £9,000 is yours with no tax. So the remaining £27,000 is taxable, but your personal allowance covers just over £12,500 of that. So you only pay tax on about £14,430 at 20%. So that's roughly £2,900 to HMRC. So that means out of your £36,000, you keep about £33,100, so roughly £2,760 a month in your pocket. Now that's £240 less every month than the £3,000 that you wanted. So over 7 years, the gap, you'll pay roughly £20,000 in tax on money that used to be yours, but is now going to be the taxman's. And there's no going back. Those units are sold and they are gone forever. But at 67, something arrives that is going to change the entire picture, and it transforms how hard your pot has to work. And that is going to be, of course, the state pension. If you are planning your retirement, we've created a really handy checklist for you. So you can go to our website, financialeducation.co.uk, and on there, on the top menu, you'll see a page called Retirement Checklist. If you click that, it will take you to this page, and there where you will find a pre-retirement checklist. So this is a PDF document that you can download called Are You Ready to Retire? And within there, it sets out all the things that you need to be thinking about if you are planning your retirement, and there's 10 areas specifically covered. So within there, as well as you go through, it sets out what you need to do, why it matters and why it's important, and when you need to look at it, which essentially gives you a bit of a blueprint and an action plan for you to follow to make sure that you are fully prepared and ready for your retirement. It's a really handy guide for you to print off and just fill in as you go through. That means at 67, that's when everything starts to change. And this is the moment I think people don't really plan for properly. So the full state pension is currently just a touch over £12,500 a year. And the moment it kicks in, your pot stops having to do all the heavy lifting. So before 67, your pot was covering the full £36,000. After 67, the state pension is going to cover about £12,500 of that. So your pot only needs to find about £23,500. So that's the drop of a third in what your pot provides every single year. And have a look here at this chart. On the left, your pot covers everything. On the right, when you see the state pension take over, nearly £13,000 off that work. So your pot goes from providing £36,000 a year to about £23,500 a year. And that is the rescue moment. That's when the pressure on your pot drops by a third overnight, and it's going to be a critical point of anyone's retirement. So after 7 years of watching your pot drain away, this is potentially a turning point. It finally gets breathing room and starts to last that little bit longer. Now, what catches people off guard, of course, is the tax bill. And that goes up once the state pension starts. So the state pension is, as I said, £12,500 a year. The personal allowance is roughly also about £12,500 a year. And the gap is actually currently just £22. That's going to disappear next year. So the state pension basically eats almost your entire tax-free allowance. And now every penny from your pot is taxed from the first pound. And your tax bill on the pot withdrawal goes from about £2,900 during the gap years to about £3,500 once the state pension arrives. And this is what I think blindsides people. Whilst the state pension rescues your pot, HMRC is actually going to crawl some of it back. So by 2028, the state pension will exceed the personal allowance. That means every pensioner with a private pot is going to become a taxpayer. The net effect is still massively positive, of course. So your pot is draining far more slowly, and that slower drain is what makes the next 20 years work. So at 67, your pot is at roughly £340,000. and only needs to provide about £23,500 a year instead of the full amount. Now, a key part of retirement for me is how do you make your pot survive until at least 90? And this is what makes, I think, the whole thing work. And that is you don't spend the same amount for 30 years. So for me, retirement has 3 phases, and each one puts different pressure on your pot. You see, in your 60s and early 70s, you're going to be active, you're traveling, you're eating out, you're enjoying life. Your numbers will be different, but spending in these, what I call the go-go years, might actually be around £36,000 a year. But from about 75, most people naturally slow down and spending drops to maybe, say, £28,000 a year in those quieter years. And from about 85, well, spending drops further to maybe £20,000 a year. But the flip side to that is it could spike sharply if care is needed. So have a look here and just follow the line from 60 to 90. The steep drop in the gap years, then it slows once state of pension arrives. By 75, the line barely moves. Your pot is recovering because you're spending less and it's still growing. So that's 90. There's still actually about £54,000 left. And that is essentially your emergency buffer. Now, the pot doesn't survive, it stabilizes because each phase takes less from it. So that's phased-based spending, and it matches how people actually live, in my opinion. So that £54,000 buffer at 90, that isn't there for holidays. It's basically going to be your safety net. See, care home costs roughly £1,200 a week, and that can be over £60,000 a year. So that's your entire £3,000 a month. And that's not going to even cover it. And the buffer wouldn't last a year at those rates. So 25 years of doing this, and I still find it catches people out. Care costs are the thing that people miss. So it's not overspending in your 60s that wrecks the plan. It's once care is needed in your 80s. So the plan works, but only if spending naturally drops as you slow down. And the average care home stay lasts about 2.5 years. So that's over £150,000 before you've even counted for the extras. That's why flat withdrawals are so dangerous. They ignore how people actually live. So using one rate for 30 years is like packing the same clothes for a beach holiday and a skiing trip. So if you spend the same amount every single year for 30 years, you'd be broke long before 85. So the spending phases are what keep the pot alive. So if you're looking at your pension right now thinking, well, you know what, I'm nowhere near £520,000. Well, the key thing is not to panic. You see, there are specific things that bring that target down significantly. The single biggest lever is time. You see, every year that you delay saves your pot about £36,000 in withdrawals, and it gives it another year to grow. So retire at 62 instead of 60, and you need roughly £72,000 less. That drops the requirement to about £440,000. Push it back even further and wait until you're 65, and the gap shrinks to just 2 years. And the requirement then drops to about £360,000. And the second lever is actually part-time work. And this, I think, is the most powerful thing that you can do, and people don't really want to do it. But even 2 days a week of casual work brings in roughly £7,500 a year. So that drops your annual withdrawal from £36,000 to about £28,500. So over the 7 gap years, that saves your pot roughly £53,000, and it gives you a cushion if something unexpected happens. So in my view, flexible part-time work in your 60s is the most underrated retirement strategy that there is. So it's not about working forever. For me, it's about bridging the gap years on your own terms. And if you're willing to accept a slightly lower monthly target, the pot size drops even further. So even 2 days a week at £75 a day gives you that £7,800 a year. So every pound earned is a pound your pot doesn't have to find. And the maths here actually are pretty simple. You see, even small changes can make a big difference. And the biggest change of all is adjusting the target itself. So accept £2,500 a month instead of £3,000, and the pot requirement drops to roughly £410,000. That is £110,000 difference just from adjusting the target by £500 a month. So here's what all of this comes down to, I think. You see, in the video, I promised 3 moves that cut that £500,000 target. So just let me land them. That is delay even 2 years, and that saves you about £72,000. Adding 2 days of part-time work, that's going to save you another £52,000 over the gap years. And drop your target by £500 a month from £3,000 to £2,500, and that pot requirement is going to fall significantly. And on top of those 3, I'll do 2 things before anything else. That is to hold 2 to 3 years of spending in cash, which means you never have to sell your investments during a market crash. And the third thing is to check your national insurance record. You see, buying back a missing year costs about £925, but it adds roughly £360 a year to your state pension for life. And another critical thing is don't wait until you are 59 to do these maths. The earlier you know the number, the more years you have to close the gap. So for more information, please go to our website, financialeducation.co.uk, where we've got guides specifically on drawdown and tax-free cash. And if you did like our content, please do like the video and do subscribe to our channel, and please do share it with other people you think would benefit. Finally, good luck and goodbye.